Hello, welcome to Stretford Paddock. We're here for the team news for Manchester United against Liverpool at Anfield. It's a big game, obviously. There's a lot of things to look at for this one. Obviously, Marcus Rashford, will he play, won't he play, is the main one. It looks as though he won't play. It's going to be interesting to see how we sort of fit a Rashford-less team around sort of, we've been seeing the 4-2-3-1 a lot. We saw the five at the back against Liverpool last time. Will we see another five at the back tonight? We're not that particularly sort of high in volume on centre-backs even, so it'd probably be Phil Jones coming in if we were to play a five at the back system. Will it be Greenwood? Will it be James? Will it be Martial? Will it be Lingard? Will it be Pereira? There's a lot of questions unanswered that we should hopefully find out about in about 4 minutes. Obviously, it's one of United's biggest games of the season. I would say it's probably, based on what I've heard from Liverpool fans, Liverpool's biggest game of the season so far as well, so it's going to be we don't need to say United versus Liverpool. It's going to be a high-intensity, high-pressure game for both teams. Let us know what you think in the comments. Can United win without Rashford? I think has been one of the questions that's been asked a lot on Twitter this week, and just when people are talking, Rashford won't play, we're going to struggle. That's been a lot of what I've heard leading up to the game. Prajwal says, Jesus, we need you today. Looking up for Jesus there. I know you're talking about me, but I'm going to ignore that. I don't think he travelled. Yeah, it does look as though Marcus Rashford hasn't travelled. Another one to look out for will be Luke Shaw or Brandon Williams at right back. It looks as though Shaw may have overcome that hamstring injury that he had, but Brandon Williams has, I think, been excellent. But I suppose when you're trying to blood in a new player in Brandon Williams, a youth player, do you want to sort of test him against, what is currently the best team in the league in Liverpool? Is it worth for his progression, the chances of maybe him having a bad game? I don't know. I think personally, I like the idea of playing the team that's been the best for years. Leicester just missed a penalty in the background there. That's staying at 1-1 in the Leicester-Burnley game. Jamie Vardy missing a penalty. Pope saving the ball there. Two Popes. Good film. Can United win in general? Yeah, of course they can. United can win in general. They won the last game. Obviously, Liverpool have been on a ridiculous run this season. Do we have a chance at all? People aren't particularly optimistic for this, are they? The team news should be coming out in a couple of minutes. Bro, how good did McGregor look last night? He looked pretty good, didn't he? Cowboy looked slow. Didn't really get a chance to do much at all, to be honest. Vardy misses penalty. Yep, just said that. Bayer returns and heads everything out. Imagine the scenes. I doubt very much that Eric Bayer will be playing today. He's only just back from injury, and we saw. I think the last sort of big game he played in was the PSG game away last season, and he came off after about 40 minutes because he wasn't particularly great. So I'll be very surprised if we see him today. Even if we do play a five at the back formation, I would be surprised if it wasn't Phil Jones filling in that third spot. It might be interesting. We might see that split strikers approach again of maybe Martial and James up front. A lot of pace and being able to sort of stretch the gaps in between Liverpool's centre-backs and full-backs. Because I think if there's one way United can sort of be dangerous in this game and score goals and win the game, personally, I think it is exploiting the spaces left by the Liverpool fullbacks. Obviously, we know that they've provided 14 of Liverpool's assists in the league this season. They are Liverpool's primary goal creators, with their midfield providing next to nothing essentially. In comparison to how many goals they score, it's a sort of ludicrous amount of assists that come from their defenders. So I think finding those gaps in there will be the key to United winning the game. Has the team news come out? Not yet. Not coming out yet. Should be coming out any moment now, though. Just checking on Twitter there. But, I think exploiting those gaps behind the fullbacks and in between the fullbacks and centre-back will be the key for United. And I think Martial and Dan James were probably the ones to do that. I think also maybe we could see Greenwood in the 10, or will we see Pereira? It'll be interesting to see, because I think Greenwood's passing range is slightly underrated. We've not really seen too much of that from him because of where he's played on the left-hand side primarily. I think his passing and his vision is something that we are yet to see from him. But I do think he does have it in his locker. Shaw does not have the personality for this game. Obviously, I think a lot of people like Brandon Williams' aggression and intensity, as we've seen recently, but obviously it looks as though we are hearing, like I said, that Luke Shaw will be playing this one. What's the team again? We're still waiting for the team news. It should be coming out any time now, really. Any second now we are expecting the team news. Here it is. It is De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Williams. Then we've got Matic, Fred, Andreas, and James and Martial. So it's going to be interesting to see there. It looks as though it's a 3 in midfield. Yeah, we've got Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, and Williams. So we heard Shaw was playing. I didn't think he'd be playing as well as Williams. So I'll be interested to see. Maybe it'll be. I have no idea how that's going to look. Maybe it'll be Brandon Williams on the right, Shaw on the left, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, and Maguire as the centre backs there. Very interesting, very bold team from Solskjaer. We did discuss. Casey, who was just off screen, mentioned before potential 5 at the back, which I wasn't sure about, but obviously he was right there because it's a similar tactic to the one we employed against Liverpool last time. I guess we want that sort of robust 3 at the back and then 2 fullbacks as well to counteract, as we were saying before, that wing threat from Liverpool's fullbacks. Again, let's go over the team again. No Marcus Rashford is the main story, and then it seems as though it's De Gea, and I'm going to make a guess here that it's going to be Brandon Williams on the right-hand side. He's, of course, naturally right-footed, and then again, we'll have to see how it shakes up when they get on the pitch, but it looks as though it's a centre-back trio of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, with Luke Shaw on the left, with a midfield 3 of Matic, Fred and Andreas, and again, as I predicted, I would guess again a split striker of James and Martial. There is potential for maybe Andreas playing on the right-hand side, James on the left, Martial up front, but I think United will be looking to pack out that sort of midfield and that defensive area, so I would be surprised if Andreas doesn't play a central role. Let's get into the subs then. We've got Sergio Romero, Eric Bailly, Diogo Dalot, Phil Jones, Juan Mata, Jesse Lingard, and of course Mason Greenwood. Let me know what you think to that. Bloody hell, that's a team, isn't it? That's exciting, that's a bit interesting. Who's on the bench? Just said Gareth. I'll say it again. Romero, Bailly, Dalot, Jones, Mata, Lingard, Greenwood. There's your bench. Shaw at left centre-back against Salah. It could be, we could. I would say it's either going to be Brandon on the right with Wan-Bissaka as the right centre-back, or it'll be Brandon on the left with Shaw as the left centre-back. They're the 2 potential options as far as I would say. Pacey midfield. I don't know how much pace there is with... I suppose Fred's got a bit of pace, but Matic is slow, isn't he? But I guess if you're looking at Williams and Wan-Bissaka as your 2 fullbacks, playing as like a 5 in midfield, then yeah, that is quite a pacey midfield. It's a strange one, that, isn't it? It's going to be very interesting to see how this team plays, to be honest. What are you expecting? Now I've seen the team, get some score predictions in there. This isn't technically a score prediction, but Floating Man says we're fucked. It is a prediction of sorts, Floating Man, but it's not the positivity we want to see here. I would be happy to see Rashford. Yeah, we all would have been happy to see Rashford. Obviously, he hasn't overcome that back and knee injuries that he's been seeing recently. And look, there you go, there's the team. That's how we're predicting it to line up there, with Williams on the left, Shaw as a left-sided centre-back. It's going to be interesting, that, isn't it? Luke Shaw playing centre-back. Maybe it'll help him. He's decent on the ball. You know, if you look at his qualities as a centre-back, he's decent on the ball. His positioning is generally okay. He's not particularly kind of up and down, so maybe him not playing at left-back will benefit him. Exciting. Definitely exciting. I think if you're Phil Jones, you're looking at that thinking, why aren't I playing? I'm a centre-back and I don't get a game here. Maybe we just want more pace on that left-hand side to counteract the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mo Salah. United app saying that Shaw is playing at left wing. There's the United app. Come on, lads. Let's not mess about. If Luke Shaw's playing left wing, Ali, I don't know, just a little bit of gravel. Can we forfeit? Only 3-0. Yeah, but I think there's a lot more that comes with a forfeit than just losing 3-0, isn't there? 4-2-3-1, Shaw is left mid. Maybe. Really? That's what we're going with? Luke Shaw at left mid? What on earth? You know what? If it works, it works. But what evidence do we have to suggest that Luke Shaw would be a better left mid than Brandon Williams? I don't particularly think we've seen any. Especially, I think we're definitely doubling up on that side because of the threat of Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think there's no question about that. Whichever way you sort of shake it, we are going to have 2 defenders on each side. We've got Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka on one side. You've got Shaw and Williams on the other, and then you've got Maguire as that central sort of pivot there. So I think we're definitely trying to counteract that attacking fullback system that Liverpool use. But if we see Luke Shaw on the left-hand side of a 4-2-3-1, I would be very surprised. Eric is on the bench. Okay. It looks like we're going to attack the fullbacks. Well, yeah. I think we don't have much through the middle. No offense to Fred, Matic and Andreas, but we've seen in the last couple of games that Mata's played just what we are lacking in terms of creativity through the middle. I'm not surprised Mata isn't playing today. I don't think it's his sort of game, but just his creativity, his output, his passing, his positioning sort of does show up and really sort of flag up the insufficiencies, if that's a word, how insufficient and ineffective the rest of our number 10s are. So I would be surprised if we create too much through the middle. I think most of our attack is going to come from the left and the right flanks. Baye instead of Shaw would have been better. Baye hasn't played in 6 months or whatever it is. Why would I? Don't, that's just, to me, the idea of playing Eric Baye, certainly starting Eric Baye in this game, is just absolute carnage. We know how he is as well. He's quite a reckless tackler. He's quite what's the word? Unpredictable. There you go. Even the word's unpredictable. An unpredictable player. I don't think him starting against the likes of Sadio Mane would have necessarily been a good idea. Williams is better at defending than Shaw. Yeah, so maybe we will see Shaw further forward. But it's a strange one to me because that if we put as Vardy breaks through there and just hits the chest of Pope, if you do put Shaw at left wing, you're admitting that the defence matters more than the attack, obviously, because I think Brandon is better at defending and attacking than Shaw overall. So if you put Brandon at the left wing spot, that's saying that you value the attack more because you think he's better than Shaw. If you put him at the left back spot, it's saying that you value the defence more because he's better defending than Shaw. And you know, to be honest, I don't think there's anything wrong necessarily with saying that we do need to value defence more highly in this game because, let's face it, Liverpool are a more sort of complete side than us with more wins and more confidence. 5-3-2, yeah. Greenwood to rip Trent Alexander-Arnold like Rashford written in the stars. Well, it needs to be written on the subs bench because that's where Greenwood's starting, unfortunately. How are you discussing an incorrect lineup? What's incorrect about it? Is this not the right lineup? Seems correct to me. I don't know. Maybe United's Twitter have got it wrong. I'm not sure. I don't know what's incorrect about it. Let me know what's incorrect about the lineup. I would love to have Greenwood instead of Andreas. Yeah, I think we've seen in Andreas' industriousness giving him the start here. I think he's got decent ball deliveries and he definitely offers more defensively than Greenwood does. I would like to have seen Greenwood. Yeah, Aaron Wan-Bissaka will play left side of centre back to help Shaw out, maybe. So then, yeah, I think it looks as though Brandon will play on the left, as we've seen, but as we know, he is right-footed. So there's potential maybe for. Burnley have scored 2-1. Burnley against Leicester. If you're interested, looking up at the teams above us, Leicester look as though they're going to be dropping at least 1 point, maybe 3 in that game. I'm going to age by 20 years watching this. Good. You might not get ID'd when you go into a pub anymore. We need Joe McGrath. Joe McGrath isn't going to be with us today, unfortunately. We'd like to see him. 3-1 Burnley. Well, it's not 3-1 Burnley, is it? Give us your score predictions for the United game before we go then. Let's just get a gauge of what we think United's chances are here. Mata should be playing. Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right mid would be a disaster. Interesting. I personally, I'm going to go with 1-0 United. I think we're obviously set up to be defensively sound. Obviously, we'll have to see, but I think our chances of getting a late goal or even an early goal and holding the lead, I think we might see something similar to the game at Old Trafford, but hopefully United don't concede a sloppy goal from ball watching this time. My prediction is 20-18 to United. Very nice. At the end of this game, that will definitely still be the score. 1-1 there from Scottish Taco. Lovely name. Mata had a couple of worldies and he's dropped. I think Solskjaer just doesn't think he's suited into this game. I think the intensity will be too high, especially in a 2. Yeah, because with the extra defender, we're losing one man from midfield. I think it'll be a difficult one for Mata to play in. And also, he hasn't played that much, so he's probably knackered after playing 2 games in a row. But he has been really good. 3-2 Liverpool, great. 2-1 United. 1-0 Captain Maguire to score. Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? First game as captain. He's got close a few times to scoring. I won't be surprised to see. Right, here we go. I'm going to make a prediction now. Maguire will score from a set piece today. That's all I've said. That's all I'll say. 2-1 United, Greenwood and Maguire will finally score. Yeah, I'm liking this Maguire storyline. I like this. 2-1 for United. Yeah, see, I like this. Let's go. That's a good way to end. A bit of positivity there. 3-1, Martial hat-trick. Excellent. Love this. Right, I'm excited now. We're going to win. United are going to win. Thank you very much for joining us for the team news. We're going to be back about 4:15 for a watch along. Stephen Howson will be here. Casey will be with me, and Alex will be here as well. So be sure to tune in for that. Come on, lads.